Listen up. I'm going to tell you why I am completely obsessed with Brunt. I've worn a lot of work boots in my life, and I'll tell you this, before Brunt, my feet were destroyed. I could not wait to get my work boots off. Then, I tried a pair of Brunt boots. Let me tell you, it was relaxing. Right out of the box, these things were ready to go. There was no break-in. There was no blisters. Right away, they fit so we could work. Comfort meets protection, meets durability, all in one. And these are not just any boots. These babies are built for the job site. Slip resistant, heat resistant, waterproof. They got it all. They are even electrical hazard rated. Whether you're rocking the Marin with its 6-inch soft toe, total powerhouse, or the Omen, lightweight, water resistant with all the features you need. I'm telling you, you're gonna get boots as comfortable as your sneakers, but as durable as real work requires. Over 500,000 folks have already joined the Brunt crew, trying them on the job risk-free with free shipping. Guys, check them out, but don't wait, because they're going fast for the holidays, and the holidays are right around the corner. Limited edition styles are dropping all month, and they're gonna sell fast. Treat yourself or the hardworking man in your life to something built to last. And hey, all my listeners get $10 off using code Chael at checkout. That's bruntworkwear.com. Use code Chael to get $10 off. Get yours today and let them know the bad guy sent you. Bermane Stiverne has spilled the tea. And he's talking about Josuha versus Jake Paul. I just heard somewhere that he's injured, that the fight's not happening. Stiverne says, I don't know. I just heard not so long ago it was canceled. I don't know what's going on. Lawrence gave him a black eye or something from what I heard, and the fight is not happening after those sparring sessions. It might be a lie or it might be true. I don't know. Just what I heard, so I wouldn't be surprised. If I was his advisor, talking about Jake Paul, I wouldn't take that fight, Stiverne added. I mean, business-wise, it makes sense. The numbers are great and everything, but yeah, if I was like his brother Logan, I would tell him, don't take the fight. I'd rather see you win. Somebody sent me the face-to-face. You could tell. Anthony's language showed he was not scared or whatever. In my point of view, this is going to be a disaster. That breaks my heart. I'm sorry. I am sorry to Bermane Stiverne that the educational system has failed you so greatly. I'm sorry to Bermane Stiverne that you were the heavyweight champion of the world. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name right. I apologize to Bermane Stiverne that you were the heavyweight champion of the WBC, and I have never read your name until right here, right now. Now, I'm not looking to be a dick about it, but this is bad. This is very bad stuff. I heard somewhere not long ago, I don't know where. Well, Bermane, let's help retrace your steps. Where have you been recently? Did you hear it today? Did you hear it at the gym where you told us on the phone? I know you didn't read it somewhere. So, Bermane has information, but he doesn't know where he got it. But he got it not that long ago. Now, a little bit later, Bermane talks about that Jake Paul is injured. And then Bermane tells us the injury, that he did some sparring and he was suffering from a black eye. Well, that certainly sounds very severe, Bermane. We wouldn't want somebody to fight with a black eye. The interesting part for me, guys, is that Jake Paul has nobody to pull out from. Like the idea that Paul and Joshua isn't going to happen, and that's on Jake's side of it. There's nowhere for Jake to pull out from. Jake's putting the fight on. He would have nobody to call and say, I have a black eye, I can't continue. That's just one of the parts of it that's very interesting to me. Now, where Bermane comes out, he says, oh, the numbers are great, they look beautiful. Bermane. Can you tell us what those numbers are that look great and look beautiful for either side? Bermane, you have no idea who's getting paid what. Bermane, you have no idea who's getting paid what. Now he says, and this is easily my favorite part, it might be true and it might not. You got me there. Yeah. Yes. It might be true or it might not. You have got me there. When you have a heavyweight champion of the world, and I don't mean to pick on Bermane for being borderline illiterate and having a name that nobody's heard of while being a former heavyweight champion of the world. I don't mean to pick on Bermane for disclosing about himself that he would pull out of a fight if he didn't think he could win. Bermane sounds like a complete bully. And I'm not sorry about all of those things. I'm just sorry from a conceptual standpoint when a guy tells you that he would pull out of a fight, he's talking about the golden rule in life of put myself in somebody else's shoes, what would I do? And Bermane is letting us know he would not go through with a fight that the world did not think that he was going to win. And it's interesting. I mean, we see this in MMA. Even if it doesn't matter if it's a little bit or if it's a big gap. A gap is a gap. What difference does it make? It's kind of like being pregnant. She's not a little bit pregnant. She's either pregnant or she's not. I mean, right, you offered an example. There's things that it's not a little bit. It's not kinda. Joshua Van just went into a very similar situation as Jake Paul, where he went into a fight that nobody thought that he could win. And the spread wasn't huge. The spread was 3-1. Even a little tighter than that, but it was 3-1. But I live in this ecosystem. None of you thought that Van was going to win the fight. None of you that spoke up publicly, and don't be mad when I say that, no, I read every single comment, none of you spoke up before the fight and said that Van was going to win. That's what the fight was. Joshua Van, the second youngest champion, only behind John Jones by 4 months and 2 days, had to walk out there against a grown-ass man who the world said was going to beat him, and Joshua Van did it anyway. He went and faced it anyway. That's what makes him the champion. That's what makes that night and that whole experience so great, was the willingness to go out and do that. So now you've got Jake Paul in the same situation where there's a big spread and he's not supposed to win and he's supposed to get beat up. Well, so was Joshua Van. Should have Joshua not gone out there and tried? Should he not gone out there on a prayer? On a whim, on luck, use this, and I'm going to use it for experience, and I'll catch you up down the road. Something good tonight is going to happen to me. Or maybe I'm just not a dick. I'm not a straight-up dick. I fight anybody, and now I got a guy that stepped forward. So you can call him Anthony Joshua, or you could call him anybody. I said anybody. I'm actually the one guy that meant it. But our former heavyweight champion doesn't seem to understand that concept. And the idea that Joshua and Paul is going to be off, if you want to go out and spread that nonsense, you can. But don't do it from a standpoint of Paul's going to pull out. Paul has nobody to pull out to. There is nobody for Paul to give an excuse to. And I've seen guys get the black eye or get the injury, and I've seen them embellish them, convince themselves. They start with their little peers. As long as a few guys in the workout room come over, go, oh my gosh, this looks bad. You need to have a seat, right? Okay, boom, step one is done. Now you start working your story amongst these guys a little bit. Okay, this one got some pushback. This part of the story sounds good. You start to rehearse it perfectly before you send the text message to Mick Maynard or Sean Shelby or in my time, Joe Silva, right? Like you get it rehearsed just enough. There is nobody for Jake Paul to pull out to. So conceptually, why you can't put yourself in a position of walking in as a sheep into the lion's den, why you can't do that, other people can. And that's the reason they get the big bucks. And that's the reason their name's in headlines. There would be no point in Jake Paul's opinion, and I share his opinion, there would be no point of being the WBC heavyweight champion of the world if people don't know your name. He would rather not be the champion, but remember to be recognized. That is what a number of people would agree to, but Bermane Stiverne, he's not cut from the same cloth. Bermane would rather be the champion without the recognition. To that, I cannot relate.